Hey y'all, don't forget to hit those buttons over there where you're listening. We've got the Maryland Supreme Court hearing arguments on CSA lawsuits. The Supreme Court of Maryland heard arguments on Tuesday about the constitutionality of a 2023 law that ended the state's statute of limitations for CSA lawsuits following a report that exposed widespread wrongdoing within the Archdiocese of Baltimore. The arguments, which lasted several hours and often veered into highly technical legalese, largely focused on the intent of the Maryland legislature when it passed a preceding law in 2017 that said people in Maryland who were SA'd as children could bring lawsuits up until they turned 38. Now pay attention to this. Stay with me, okay? Teresa Lancaster, an abuse survivor and advocate for others, said she was optimistic after what she heard in the courtroom. These crimes have harmed many, many people. We deserve our day in court. We deserve justice, and I'm very, very enthusiastic from what I heard today. So the ruling is expected in the coming months, but let's get into what's happening, okay? So Governor Wes Moore, a Democrat, signed the Child Victims Act into law last year. Less than a week after the state's attorney general released a report that documented rampant abuse committed by Baltimore clergy spanning 80 years and accused the church leaders of decades of cover-ups. The report, which is nearly 500 pages, included details about more than 150 Catholic priests and others associated with the Archdiocese of Baltimore abusing over 600 children. State investigators began their work in 2019. Days before the new law was to take effect, October 1st, the Archdiocese filed for bankruptcy to protect its assets ahead of an anticipated deluge of litigation. That means claims filed against the Archdiocese will be relegated to bankruptcy court, but other institutions such as Catholic schools and individual parishes can still be sued directly. While the court's ruling will have wide-reaching effects on CSA cases in Maryland, the oral arguments Tuesday centered on a technical issue involving the earlier 2017 law change that established the cutoff at age 38. So they're looking into the intent behind establishing that cutoff. The question at hand is whether a provision in the 2017 legislation was written in such a way that permanently protected certain defendants from liability. Answering that question likely requires the court to decide whether the provision should be considered a statute of limitations or a so-called statute of repose. And this is where it got very legalese for me, too legalese for me. But what I found interesting, well, the whole report that came out, they're trying to cover their tracks, filing bankruptcy right before. We're never going to evolve as a species as long as religion is around. That is my whole point. And the purity culture and the CSA, and just how it fuels it, and anyways, I'm not going to get too legal, but hopefully these people see justice, right? That's the whole point here. Okay. Don't forget to hit those buttons. I hope your day doesn't suck. Okay, love y'all. Bye.